All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be touching on the top prop bets today on Prize Picks for Taco Tuesday. Let's go ahead and get into it. And so already to start the day, we are getting two discounts here for Taco Tuesday. We got an esports prop bet here. Then we also have another one here for soccer. I'm going to imagine that we're going to get one at least for college basketball as well, simply because that's the main sport that is currently going on right now. So we'll be touching on all of that. And with that, let's jump into the cheat sheet. And so the nice part about today is that right away, we are instantly getting a lot of good prop bets here for college basketball and a lot of bets, at least where the projection data also agrees with that as well. So we got Reed Bailey for under his points and assists. The theme today is we are getting a lot of points and assists and a lot of points and rebounds prop bets for the unders. Okay. So we can kind of go through all these, but we don't actually need to. There's just a bunch of pretty decent prop bets, guys. We're getting a bunch that are over 54% likely to hit. Unfortunately, we're going to be betting a lot of the unders though. So that's kind of the annoying part of today. So yeah, we look at Reed Bailey here. We're going to see that he has consistently been getting this under at least, 2 out of the 3 games he's gotten the over, kind of there. The next one that I like the most would probably be looking at Elijah Hawkins for either under his PRA or his points and rebounds. Those both go hand in hand. Obviously, if you're struggling to get one for the over, the other one's going to be pretty good. We can take a peek here at either of them. Projection data actually gives him a better chance to get the over PRA, but all in all, not a big issue. Now, what's interesting about his lines is that his assist line probably should be closer to 7. Okay, just you kind of add these two up together, this only gets to 21. Okay, so right away, that's kind of an interesting line there. So that to me tells me that maybe we should be favoring the under PRA a decent amount there at 21.5. To me, that is the best bet because a decent amount of what's going into his PRA over is going to be him potentially getting 7 assists. So I'm okay with just doing this one. Then we go ahead and get into another one that's popping up here for the under fantasy score. If we're looking at the game log, probably not going to like it as much. Not sure if this has to do with the blowout or not for the under, but looking at the data, gives it a pretty decent chance here. So 54.6% edge here with the average sportsbook line being at 25. Again, guys, with these fantasy score lines, I do like to wait and see kind of what the underdog lines are going to be. As I'm recording this right now, we are not getting those, just so we can be making our best bets possible. There are certain slates where, and this happened this weekend, where I think it was on Saturday, underdog, whatever. Either way, it's correct. So on underdog, I believe all the unders hit a decent amount on underdog because they're a little bit too high. And then it flipped the next day where if you bet the unders are popping up and underdog didn't work out. But if you bet the overs on Prize Picks instead, because typically speaking, underdogs are a little bit higher than Prize Picks, end up working out. That's kind of why I like to go ahead and just attack based off of where we are getting our biggest edge instead. And so I do think that we are going to get those underdog lines today. We haven't gotten them every single day on the smaller slates, but that'd be one where we could take a peek at. Continuing on, guys, we just have a bunch of them. Phelps for under his points and rebounds. We can see he has consistently been getting the under there as well. So kind of like that there. That's probably why the projection data is also heavily favoring the under there. If we go a little bit lower, we can see we have Walter Clayton Jr. for over his fantasy score of 31.5. So a pretty good one there. We're getting some under bets here for Marquette, potential stacking opportunity here where we could bet under for David Joplin for under his points and rebounds, stacked with Cam Jones for under his points and assists. Not a terrible way to go about attacking that. Then another one that we have for over fantasy score is a decent one. We also have another stacked with Florida potentially for over their fantasy score. So let's take a peek at a couple of those. So yeah, we look at David Joplin, obviously not been doing extremely well recently. Again, we could stack his under potentially with someone like Cam Jones for under his points and rebounds or his points and assists, either or. Those are both going to be pretty solid bets for us on today's slate. Then real quickly, let's take a peek at those two Florida prop bets that we're getting here. Again, I think this is a stacking opportunity. Walter Clayton Jr. for over his fantasy score. You could attach that with Thomas Hugh for over his fantasy score as well. He's been on a little bit of a hot streak. Like to see that there from him. But again, we could stack those two together. Now, typically, we wouldn't want to do a 3-slip bet or anything like that. But again, that really just depends on you guys and what you have available per taco. If you guys are being limited to typically $5, maybe $10, just do a one bet on a 5 or 6 slip bet. If you guys are not being limited, just do 5. If you guys have $25, do 5 2-slip bets. Okay, but in this scenario where we are getting a couple of stacking opportunities, you could potentially do a 3-slip bet. And typically we won't want to do a 3-slip bet on PrizePicks, especially compared to Underdog, where PrizePicks only pays out 5x. Typically, on underdog, we can get 6x, but on today where we're just attacking these discounts, I'm kind of okay with that. Take advantage of the money that they're trying to toss out at us while also increasing your potential to get a little bit more of a profit. Then lastly, we'll take a peek at that last UCLA prop bet that we are getting for the over fantasy score here. Game log wise, we can see pretty consistent. That's really what I like to see in a prop bet is the consistency there. Where when Vegas is telling us that we have a 54% edge to get the over, I tend to agree with that a little bit more. Feel a little bit more encouraged with that. When we get a guy that is consistently hitting the line, or at least getting right around that line, there's not that kind of roller coaster where maybe it's just having a cold night shooting. Maybe he gets into foul trouble. College basketball, it goes so deep. We don't get a chance to look as deep into it as we can. Obviously, the 9 to 5 NBA cheat sheet's a little bit more detailed. We can kind of pick and see where and why maybe someone's been inconsistent. Obviously, college basketball, a little bit more difficult to do that. But seemingly a good prop bet here as well. So with that, guys, we are going to go ahead now and get into the 9 to 5 bet of the day. And so this is certainly an interesting day just because we are getting so many good college basketball prop bets. A little bit different than really the last 2 days where we just weren't getting that many good prop bets. Very much limited days for me betting wise. There are some soccer prop bets that I've been working on, a tool that hopefully I'll have available maybe by Friday to have available on the site. I'm still testing those out, so I don't want to give those out yet. That seem to be pretty good. A lot of them are favored to be pushes, but at least today we are getting plenty of good college basketball prop bets. Again, with the fantasy score prop bets, this is over, guys. We are betting over for Tyler. Apologies for that. Over fantasy score. There, apologies for that. That's over. But the rest of these are correct. Apologies for that. Over for Tyler, UCLA. But again, we do want to be comparing these against the underdog lines. And if you guys are a 9 to 5 member, just be making sure to double check. Make sure that these are still the best prop bets throughout the day. Because while they'll be updating a lot more, I think today, simply because there's not NBA action going on. Obviously, a lot more people are going to get action on college basketball today, I'm assuming, because there's no NBA. So that could make the lines fluctuate a little bit more than they typically would. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure to give a like and subscribe to the channel. Do appreciate that. If you guys want access to any of the tools available on the website, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to all the tools for just $10 a month. Make the best bets possible each and every site. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.